Perfect. Right, I think everyone's in. I think the recording has started for people that aren't here. So right, let's dive in. So as always, thank you all for joining me this evening. One thing that I sort of have noticed and probably hopefully will resonate with quite a few of you, is that it's quite clear from the results this week that the guys that started at the start of January, we are starting to notice that our bodies are sort of starting to tire both physically and mentally. I think really the general rule of thumb is you should be in a deficit for like 10 weeks roughly. Like if you've dieted a lot in the past, then you can definitely push it to 12. But a general rule of thumb is that you should be in a deficit for roughly 10 weeks. And we've sort of seen from a lot of you this week a little bit of a plateau or a slight incline. And that for a lot of you is the first time that's happened since the start of January. For most of the men, we've seen a pretty steady decrease in weight. As we know, the girls are not like that. The girls are definitely a lot more of a curved decrease. But we've definitely seen this week, there's obviously some signs of us sort of tiring both physically and mentally as well. So if that's you, like, please don't worry. We're all in the same boat. I've also noticed myself sort of losing a bit of mental fatigue as well. Like, I've definitely eaten things over the last week that I haven't done since the start of January. So I think we're all starting to show that little bit of fatigue, and that's absolutely normal. And we're going to look at that this evening. So a couple of well dones. Eleanor's already up to 15 hours of workouts, so well done to Eleanor. Stewie's up to 90k of running now, so well done, Stew. Shiv's up to 50 miles of walking, so I don't know what that is. That's probably not far off 90k as well, so well done, Shiv. And then Nick as well. One of Nick's things was that he wanted to get back swimming, and Nick managed to get to the pool this week as well. So well done to Nick as well. So well done to everyone. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is we're going to go on to, and this is something new, and it's to kind of keep things fresh and keep things interesting. So what everyone is going to do, regardless of if you joined at the start of January or if you joined like a week or two ago, you are going to go on Monday the 17th, you're going to go onto a new phase. Okay. It might be that you decide to stick on the same thing that you're already doing, but the idea being that Monday the 17th, we'll all go onto a new phase. And then every 6 weeks, then everyone changes phases. Okay. So we'll all be doing phase changes at the same time. So it brings us all in line. Now, when that new phase comes around, you will have two things to decide. Okay. And I want this to be driven by you. It's your body, your goals. You decide, what you want to aim for in that 6 week period. Okay. Now, what I will say is you can't do the same goal for three successive phases. So you can't go fat loss, okay, but you can do 2 phases back to back. All right. So the guys that started at the start of January, on Monday the 17th of March, everyone will have to change from fat loss because you've done 2 phases of fat loss now. So we'll go, probably for most of you, we'll go on to a period of maintenance. Okay. For me, I'm going to try and put a little bit of weight on, bit of muscle on. So I will go into a period of muscle building. All right. And what that informs is obviously how many calories you have. So for you guys who are trying to lose fat, you're in a calorie deficit at the minute. If you go into maintenance, you basically want to eat the same amount as what you're burning, so you maintain weight. And if you want to put muscle on, we want to eat more than what we're burning to add weight. All right. So that's the first thing that you'll decide, is that you'll decide what your primary goal is. So Monday the 17th of March, you will all decide. Like I said, the guys that started in January, you will change. like Alice and Sharon and the guys that have joined since, you can either decide to whether to continue in your fat loss phase or change up to you. All right. Now, the second thing you have to then decide on is what you want to focus on in your training. So what a lot of you will be doing at the minute is this idea of exploring resistance. So you will be doing full body workouts, sort of 8 to 12 reps. So a sort of happy medium rep range, and just working with lots of different sort of weights and exercises. So you can continue to do that if you want. You could change and start build strength. So what we would do in that is we would start to focus on some exercises and we would decrease the amount of reps you're doing. So we would increase the weight and decrease the reps, so to build strength. We could look at peak press, and what I mean by that is sort of upper body strength. We could look at summit legs, which is like a lower body focus. These are just things that I've sort of made up, really. So if there's something that you fancy doing that's not on there, you sort of let me know. Like I've just thought about Stu, and he could do like a little bit of a cardio sort of base, continue doing some cardio stuff. So work from home is sort of working out from home. Steps is just using sort of walking to increase your your calorie output. Hybrid engine is something that one of the guys is going to train. So this is like mixing running and strength training, so like a high rock sort of focus. And then iron core was like something I thought if you wanted to do some Pilates or core work or something like that. So hopefully there's something there for everyone, and there's something there that we can like mix it up every 6 weeks just to keep it fresh and keep it interesting. I was thinking that we could do some stuff around sort of building glutes as well, so you could do some glute strengthening stuff. So yeah, really these things are guided by you. If there's something that you want to focus on in that 6 week period, then just let me know, and I'll try and sort of put something together. Essentially what I'll try and do is do 3 workouts that you can sort of repeat for that phase. Does that all make sense? Yeah, so there's nothing that you need to do right now. You just think about, well, for some of you it's like, right, shit, let's just get to Monday the 17th, because I can't wait to get off this calorie deficit. All right, but it's just something to think about, right? What do I want to go on to next? Do I want to start building some muscle, a bit of maintenance, etc., etc.? All right, so just something for you to think about, nothing for you to do just yet. So in terms of fuel, in terms of nutrition, really I see it as like a 3-step process. So the first thing is all about simplicity. It's about keeping it simple. And for all of you guys, you would have got my really, really boring PDF with 3 breakfasts and 3 lunches and 3 dinners. All right. And I think that's a really, really, really important thing for everyone to start on. It's really clean. It's really lean, and it makes it absolutely like idiot proof. Anyone can do it. If you know, everyone in this call and everyone in the program knows, if you stuck to that meal plan, you lost weight. It's as simple as that. All right, because it's impossible not to. Then comes this sort of period of curiosity. So you start to sort of branch out from those plans that I've give you, maybe just add in bits and bobs. You might start seeing little things on Instagram. You might start sort of exploring some cookbooks that I recommended to you and things like that. So you start to become a little bit curious. You're probably still doing some of the meals that I suggested to you, but you're then sort of branching out and maybe just sort of tweaking them and moving them around a little bit. And then where we want you all to be is in this sort of period of exploration. So within this period, you're starting to become really, really confident in the planning of your food. You're really, really confident and sort of know how many calories are in a meal by eye. And you're really, really confident in the choices that you're making. All right. So you've done the simple stuff. You've started being a bit more curious, but now you're sort of exploring loads of different ideas, but you're really, really confident in what you're preparing, in what you're eating, and in the choices that you've made. So this is where we want everyone to be. And this sort of leads on to this add-on that I'm going to sort of show you in a minute. So you guys will all know sort of where you're at. I would say probably the guys that started in January, I'd like to think that you're pretty confident now. You're in that sort of exploring the phase and you're really branching out and trying to have a nice diverse diet. Maybe some of the guys that started a little bit later are just sort of veering from that meal plan that I've set, and you started becoming a bit more curious, etc. All right. So before I just change my slide, so there's 3 things that I need you to do when you go away today, and that's would you like me to activate the meal ideas? So I'm going to show you that in Trainerize in a minute. So would you like that to be activated on your Trainerize? Start thinking about what you want to do from Monday the 17th. What do you want your primary goal to be? And then what do you want your training focus to be? So again, you don't necessarily need to let me know these things just yet. I will share a form with you and you can tell me what you want to do. That'll be over the next week or so. But what you will need to do is just let me know if you want me to activate this meal plan idea, which I'm going to show you, now. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. And then I will reshare my screen to here. Christian already has a GDPR law case against me, so I thought I'd use him as a suggestion because there can't be any more damage done. So if I go into here, so what I can now do in Trainerize, I've had to pay for this, so you can all thank me later for that. So, but I just want us to try it and make sure it's worthwhile. Okay. So what I can now do is do what they call a smart meal plan. So if I start, I can go into Christian's target at the minute is 2,500, so I can keep that on 2,500. And what I want to do, I want to ensure that we're still on a high protein diet, but this is a 40-30-30 split. Okay, most of you at the minute are on a 40-40-20 split. So your fats are lower. Remember we said we wanted to go on that low fat diet. So you will see a slight adjustment in your carbs and fats, which is not the end of the world. I'm going to say that it's three meals a day. You can sort of continue doing your own snacks, and the sample size is 7 days, and then I can just create them. Now, what this will then do is spit out a loads of 2,500 calorie day recipes. So Christian could have this for breakfast, this for lunch, and this for dinner, and that's 2,500 calories, 40% protein, 30% carbs, 30% fats. So if he ate those 3 meals perfectly, he'll be bang on what his target is. All right. Now, the way I see this in practice is you will just find things on here that you can just pick up. Like, you're not going to follow these meals. These meals all require like preparation. Okay. But it might be that you just stick to your granola and breakfast. You know, you might be stick to your food prep, but then you start experimenting with this like curry chicken, high protein curry chicken. And then when you click on it, it's got a video of how to do it. It's all the ingredients and the directions, which I think is pretty cool. So there's loads and loads and loads of ideas in there. There's ideas in there for breakfast. There's ideas for lunch, and it might be even one of these like it might even be one of these things you might just do on the weekend. It might be something on there that you could, like these tofu pies are. Some of them are rubbish. Some of them are obviously really good. But the idea being that you can just play with them, try them. It might be these cashew chicken wraps. You might even make them for the week or whatever. So yeah, I thought it's pretty cool. You just have to give me some feedback and let me know. This Mexican chicken bowl, like that looks like something you can make, you know, food prep for the week. Yeah, so it's just loads and loads of ideas. I thought it was really cool. And there is also a regenerate button at the top. I'm not sure if you have access to this, because then that literally just changes all the meals, and will give you 21 new meals. So you just let me know to give me a text. Just give me a text and say, yeah, you want this activated, and I will activate it for you. But I thought it was, yeah, pretty cool. And you just have to let me know how you get on with it. and you can sort of start adding those